His political demise was greatly exaggerated. 2 weeks ago, pollsters were forecasting an end to President Erdogan's 2 decades of rule. They were wrong, and this is why. A voter base that is steadfastly loyal, despite some very unorthodox economic policies which have led to a dire financial crisis. In the first round of this contest, his loyalists came out in droves. Today, after voting, he even handed out cash to those who'd gathered outside, the president godfather. And all this a mere sticking plaster on an economy that is on its knees. Yet he is now predicted to win, solidifying his one-man rule over this country. Perhaps in part because, although this election might be largely free and voter turnout is always high, almost 90% in the first round, it is not a level playing field. 90% of the media is now controlled by the government, and the opposition candidate, Kemal Kilicdaroglu, has claimed foul play, saying that his communications have been blocked.
I'm under total blackout. I'm asking Erdogan, do you want me to enter the elections? We can't even hold an election in Turkey. This man is a coward.
The 74-year-old former bureaucrat has taken an abrupt turn to the right in his rhetoric since he underperformed in the first round. The love heart sign, which came to represent his first campaign, is gone, replaced with a hardline right-wing message. Syrians will go, the sign reads, referring to his promise to deport millions of Syrian refugees in a desperate attempt to win over nationalist voters. The first round of this election revealed a growing hardline nationalism all over the country. Turkey's brand new warship, TCG Anadolu, sits proudly in the mouth of the Bosporus. Erdogan wants people to see it, to see what he's achieved for his country, that he is the defender of his nation. It is a message that has resonated and rallied his supporters. But many here fear that if it brings him victory, it could also herald the end of democratic rule. Well, joining me now is Harun Amagan, a member of the President's AK party, who sits on their central decision-making board. Thank you very much for coming on the programme, and congratulations on a good night, I should say. But you've pulled off a bit of a miracle, haven't you? I mean, this economy is tanking because of decisions made by your president. There's 60% inflation here, the black market and currencies is rife, and yet you've still managed to win.
Well, I disagree. I disagree because President Erdogan has been delivering the most important, the biggest, the most important projects delivered by President Erdogan, and we were carrying out actually the best economic policies in this country. Since we came in charge, the aggregate GDP actually is the largest in the world, just after India and China. And we've seen 40% drop in the inflation in last 6 months. We created 2 million jobs, and we continued on investing technology, investing innovation. This is why people vote for President Erdogan.
Right. But do you think that he would have won this election? It does look as if he's going to win. Do you think he would have won it if he hadn't controlled 90% of the media, if he hadn't used the power of the state to give people incredible pay rises just before the last round of the elections, if he hadn't used the power of his patronage to essentially buy people's votes?
But these accusations are not true. They are baseless accusations, and you know that. These claims are ridiculous. People who know Turkey, that we have a diverse voice in the media, and Turkish media, and we have a free media in Turkey as much as they are in the UK. And in fact, Rupert Murdoch
what about all the goodies he's been handing out
of the media? If you allow me to add this part, in fact, it is a problem for the UK, because Rupert Murdoch owns 68% of the media in the UK. But in Turkey, we don't have that. We have a variety in the voices, and this is why Turkish democracy is working. This is why we have actually an example to the whole world by voting, turning out on the votes and electorates in ballot boxes. As you know, 84%. This is highest in Europe.
Right. Okay, but many people here, including some on your side, are saying this election may have been free, but it wasn't fair. Briefly.
I disagree. I disagree. I mean, we know that President Erdogan has gained 27 million votes, but despite that, because of a technicality, he had to go to a second run. And 7 political parties were actually running against him, and it was still a very lively competition between 2 candidates.
All right.
Even though the opposition candidate went on xenophobic comments, Turkish people have showed their confidence who actually can run this country, who fits the job, who has delivered, who has the track record, and who hasn't.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Harun Amagan, thank you very much indeed. I'm sorry, it's a short program today. Well, with me now is the Deputy President of the opposition CHP Youth Branch here in Istanbul, Asia Bozali, and Ataberk Tuna, who is a member of the Foreign Affairs Commission of the CHP Youth. Welcome to you both. If you can't win an election, right, when the economy is tanking the way it's been tanking, you're never going to win an election, are you?
I never won an election before. This was like first time for me to voting. I thought that we're gonna win this time, and I still that believe inside of me because we worked really hard for that. But I don't know. We're just waiting for the final results.
Do you still have any hope you might have won?
Yeah, I always have a hope because I'm in CHP, and you know, like since I
hope doesn't die so easily.
Yeah, no.
Yes. Also, we still don't have the official results from the ESK, which is the Supreme Electoral Court.
Okay, you're still waiting for the official results. How personally disappointed are you if Erdogan is going to be elected for another term in office? What will your future here be?
I'm really disappointed because as a trainee lawyer, we always fought for our rights, our human rights, our women rights. But now when you look to the Erdogan supporters, Erdogan collaboration, you see a lot of person who is really fighting against the human rights. So I will really be disappointed, but we're not going to stop. We will work again.
I've spoken to a lot of Turks, young Turks like you, and older ones too, who've said, we're going to leave this country if he gets re-elected. Is that an empty threat, or are people thinking of doing that?
Can you repeat again?
Leave the country. Are some people going to leave the country?
If you will invite
Yeah,
us,
a lot of person thinking about to leave the country because of the...
What about you?
Actually, I'm not thinking that leaving the country because of I believe that still we can change the Turkey, especially the after these results. We still have hope.
But we are politic people, so we are continuing to working. But a lot of my friends want to leave this country. They don't want to come back here.
And do you actually believe what the opposition has been saying publicly, that this spells the end of Turkish democracy?
Yeah.
You do?
I don't think that there's going to be next elections.
Let me ask you one question. After he lost the first round, your candidate turned massively nationalist against 3 million Syrian refugees in this country. And frankly, a lot of people thought that was unacceptable.
Actually, we're always nationalist. But we are just saying that in really nice ways.
Posters saying, I'm going to deport millions of Syrians.
Yeah, of course, because like...
What do you mean, of course?
Yeah, because when they started to affect our public with the crime a lot, and I think we should send back to them. And their country is living happily right now, so they should be in their country, I think. Okay. And my public thinks that.
All right, got to leave it there. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Asalia Bozali and Ataberk Tuna, thank you very much indeed.